we have here the Raiders and the Saints. This is a game that I wouldn't gamble on personally because this game is going to be tough. The Raiders are favored at -2. What I can say about both of these teams right now, for the Raiders, it sounds like they're finally finding their offensive identity. Josh Jacobs had 3 touchdowns last game. Devontae Adams and Derek Carr, they start to build their chemistry. Hunter Renfrow was utilized last game. Raiders offense looks great. The Saints offense, on the other hand, they're probably going to be rocking Andy Dalton again. Andy Dalton had a fine game against the Cardinals. If he can limit his mistakes, this game will be a lot closer. But I do think the Raiders, they're desperate. They need to get this season moving. Josh McDaniels, his hot seat is on fire right now. I mean, talking about a meeting in the 3rd week of the season. I'm like, hey, dude, what are you doing? So for the Raiders, I think the Raiders are going to pull this game out. But I see this being a lot like the Raiders game a few weeks back, winning 30-26 against an inferior team. I think the Raiders are going to win this game. I see this being a high-scoring game. I have them winning 35-31 against the Saints.
Yeah, 35-31 is a really good score. I think the Saints defense has struggled a little bit. DeAndre Hopkins got going. They moved the ball really well against the Cardinals, but I think Max Crosby and Chandler Jones are going to be too much for the Saints offensive line to handle. And then the Raiders, they're going to keep running the ball, and they have to win this game. It's a must-win for them, and if they win this game, then they're 1 game behind the Chargers, which is huge for them. So they're right there with the Chargers and Broncos, and this is where they make their wild card push. The Saints still really haven't found their identity. They can't really run the ball because Kamara hasn't been healthy. And then the receivers, Michael Thomas and Jarvis Landry, have both been out. So you're relying on a rookie to take you to the promised land, which is fine, but it's just not going to happen this year, especially with Andy Dalton or Jameis Winston at quarterback. And then I think Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, this is a must-win game for them. Josh McDaniels, you mentioned it. I think Dennis Allen has a little bit more leeway because the Saints realize, hey, we're kind of rebuilding here. We don't know what we're doing at quarterback. We don't know the future of Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas, and you hired him with that in mind. You hired Josh McDaniels with, we made the playoffs last year. Take us to the next level.